My name is Akot Sani from South Sudan, and my dream is to play professional football anywhere in the world. I left home with empty hands and a bag full of dreams and ambitions to become a professional footballer. Is it going to be easy? Of course not, but it is definitely worth it in the end. I have chosen to put my life into this, and there is no going back till I achieve my dream, because dreams are meant to be lived. Where there's a will, there is always a way. Welcome to my journey. This is the road to pro contract.
Guys, good morning. Everyone's doing fine. So it's time is 9:30 and we're heading to the stadium, obviously to put in some work, extra work. uh didn't what do you call it, I didn't train yesterday because the team had a game and the stadium was locked. uh, yeah, and the team won 2-1. It was a good game. I just watched from home because the African with me arrived late for the departure. They said the departure, I think, was like 12:30, and the African child arrived like at 12:50 something. But still, that wasn't my fault because I didn't have any communication of when they were leaving. I just thought, okay, this is. I just assumed the time. Nobody really gave me a heads up. But otherwise, I still follow the game, and yeah. So it's still today ball work as well. So Mondays is usually ball work. Ball works are Mondays, Saturdays, and Thursdays. That's when I get to do ball work. That's this. And after that, I'll come back and yeah, just continue with my Portuguese classes and then do any other thing in between. So let's go. We outside. We outside. We outside. We are outside. So let's go to work.
So today I want to talk about starting your career in Asia if you're a new player, especially if you have difficulties in getting the visa to come over to Europe. I mean, not all countries have the same privileges to go to some European countries without requiring a visa. And if you do, it's maybe very complicated and you might get a shorter time. So the other day I was talking with my former agent back in Thailand, and he was telling me that for an African player to go to Thailand and sign, after doing the trial and the club likes you, you are required to go back to your home country and go make the work visa, which is almost like a 1 year work visa or 2 years to come back to Thailand. However, if you're from South America or some European countries, you just go to the neighboring countries. Like for example, if you like get a team in Thailand, you go to like Malaysia, or you go to Laos and go make the work visa there and come back. But as African players, you're required to go to your home country to go make the work visa there. So that means the player has to be responsible for 3 ways ticket. First, the ticket that took you to Thailand. Second, the ticket to exit to come to your home country and make the visa. And thirdly, the ticket now that's bringing you back to go start playing. So he said that why he really doesn't like to work with African players because of these complications, and most of them do not have that finances to cater for all this travel what do you call it, expenses. And sometimes they go there and they only probably go on one way, like I did myself, and then you find this harsh reality. So what you need to know in mind is this: before you go to Thailand, make sure you have done your enough research to know that yeah, the first time I go there is to make sure that I get somebody to like me. However, if you have your video and you played at a decent level, you can actually send out your video, and if the team likes you straight away from your video, then you don't need to do the back and forth of flying. They can already offer you a contract, and the only thing you need to do is just apply for a work visa to go to Thailand. And he was telling me, obviously while I was there was T1, T2, T3 and T4, but recently the T3 and T4 merged to form one league, which is almost professional, to be fair, because the pay is good. And yeah, the number of foreigners is also still the same, 3 foreigners at the time. And T4, I don't know what happened to the T4, but yeah, they kind of wanted to make the competition very competitive, and that's why they merged the two tiers. And they formed, like, they got the very best with the best finances, and I think the best teams to make a league that can push up to the promotion. And he says it's only trials are only done for teams in the T3 and probably below. The teams in T1 and T2, they don't really do trials. They already get players with names probably coming from Asia, from Brazil, South America, or some Afghan players that have played at a very high level, or even players that have already made names within the Asian market. So think about it before you go to Thailand. Are you in position to get all these tickets, or all these expenses? If not, then you might want to reconsider. But I highly recommend, it's a good place to start. Imagine you go to play in Thailand in the T3, and you earning roughly between 500 to 1,500, or yeah, that's how it just depends how good your agent can bargain for you as well. It would be a good place to start, but also you need to know all these things as well. Another country, maybe Laos, but the visa to get the work visa in Laos is quite easy. You just need to be within the country and apply for it. I think so, because when I was there, I tried to do that research, and that's what some of the players that played there, the foreign players, were telling me. Malaysia. For Malaysia, you really don't need to exit the country, you just need to stay within. But Malaysia, over the last 3 years, there's been a lot of changes. First of all, they scrubbed foreign players from the third tier, which is like M3. And over the last 2 years or so, they merged the second tier, which they used to call Malaysian Premier League, and they moved some teams up, and some teams were demoted to the M3. And now M3 is, and then they had, I think, the feeder league or something, and that was that. But Malaysia is a good place. I also was talking to one of the prominent players in Malaysia, that had been in Malaysia for like maybe close to 6 years, and he was telling me that maybe this year, they are planning to allow foreigners to play in the M3, which is the third tier, which is a good thing for most of the guys. But the disadvantage is this, guys: there is a hell lots of foreigners in Malaysia that are trying to make their way up there. So imagine you going there, you're not going to compete with only the newcomers or even the locals. There are only 3 foreigners allowed, and I think under 23 there used to be 1 or 2, I don't remember very well. But so imagine these foreigners have been there for years, and they speak the language. So if you're just coming in new, you're a bit disadvantaged. But the only advantage is this: most of those guys have overstayed their visas. So sometimes somebody has like a 2-year overstay or so, and when a club wants to sign them, they expect the club to sort that issue, and sometimes some clubs don't really want to take up that burden. So if you like just coming in and you really don't have any overstays on your visas or any issue restrictions, then you can play with a lot of ease, and I think it's a good thing. Another country is UAE. Of course, UAE, the only reasonable or sensible or moves that would make sense is if you're going to the first league and the second league. But I know for most of you guys that are watching here, you probably want to start in the third and the fourth tier. Gavin obviously is going to register in the fourth tier, and the other teams in the third tier. And I can say 95% of the teams from the third tier downwards, they don't really get you any visa. They don't get you they don't get you work permit. They don't even pay salaries, and they don't give you accommodation. Guys, the harsh reality about Dubai football is it's not as it seems on TV, or just because it's Dubai, then it's, man, they don't really like uh look after players like that, especially in the fourth year and the third year. Okay, you can be good, but the team will tell you, well, find your own place and everything, because most of the guys have already lived in Dubai. So it's not like clubs are bringing them, or it's not like they came under the responsibility of the club. They have been there already, and they're hustling their ways, and they already have their livings there. So they just kind of want to play football on the sides. And when the club see this, then they realize, oh, okay, these guys can do it. So why should we make exception for other players, and other players who let them stay in their houses? And also, it's not like they generate any much income for them to be able to cater for your stay and everything. Most of the clubs in those levels don't really like generate any income. The attendance in stadium it's really very low. So that's why they don't really do that, because imagine somebody cannot pump in the money, and there's no return of investment, so it makes it that complicated. But if I had to go back and start, probably the fact that I was naive about everything I was doing is actually what helped me a lot. So I think you guys too should, innocence is a blessing. Just not knowing much is a blessing. Otherwise, if I'd known all the information and everything, I probably might have overthought all the thoughts, and I would end up not making any move. But of course, the dumb decisions that I made at the time, with a very childish mind, or what to say it, but they helped me. I later learned some things on the way, and the kind it was useful in that way. So I really don't regret. Would I do it again, go to Thailand on one way? Of course, yes. But at this point, it is like it's it's all those movements that have led me to come here. Because, guys, realistically, it's not going to be very easy for you to get a visa to come to Europe, especially if you're coming to play football the first time, because no club at a mature level can help you get the visa. You know, I had a friend that came here to Portugal on a camp, and after doing 1 month, he had to go back. When he went back, he was scouted by fifth division club here in Portugal, and the fifth division club tried to get him invitation to come back to Portugal, and he was rejected visa like 3 times. So it's that complicated. Sometimes an invitation alone is not enough. I think the club even went ahead to the extent of offering a professional contract, and still, for some reasons, he was denied the visa. So yeah, guys, it's not gonna be that easy to get the visa to come to Europe. I know it's where almost all of us want to play, but I think there are other options as well. Start somewhere, and then later on in your career you can come here. I think the best thing is, if you see the first step, just take it. Don't think what is going to happen after that or anything. Take the first move that you see, and then you'll learn some things on the way, or you'll find out what happens from there. But trying to overthink things, you might just spoil your chances, and it's not a good thing. You're going to delay. I read a quote the other day that says that most of the dreams are buried in the planning. Most of the dreams, because we try to bring out the perfect scenarios, which is not really realistic, because every time we plan something, we don't plan to fail. We always plan to always say that, okay, it's going to come out this way, the success story. If you ask me where I would be playing when I came to Europe, I'll probably, this is supposed to be my first year, making my Champions League debut. But see where we are today. Yeah, it's funny, but yeah, I had this crazy dream. Yeah, I go to Europe after 1 2 years. I'm gonna conquer. I'm gonna be this. I'm this. But once I got here, everything just humbled me, and now I'm like, okay, that dream is like it is possible, but then I need something, some things to align. So that's what you guys really like need, the first move, and then after that you can go. So if you're on a low budget, try going to Thailand. Don't go to Thailand because, as I said, unless you're ready to pay for the three-way ticket, yes, then go ahead and go. The Thailand visa is very easy to get. 3-month visa, usually it goes for like I think $20 or something. The last time I did, it cost me $20 to get the visa, so it's not expensive. What is expensive are the tickets, and the three-way ticket could cost about close to 2,000 or more, 2,000 euros or dollars or more. So the best country I can tell you to go to, yes, Dubai, but then you need to find your accommodation. You need to be able to get your residence permit in Dubai. The residence permit in Dubai is, you don't even need to, it's not that hard to get, but it's expensive. I think it's close to 3,000. Residency for 2 years is close to 3,000 or 2,000. And then from there, other opportunities will arise. Malaysia, most countries at least, it's a visa free for most of the countries, and so all you need to go to Malaysia is just your ticket and then your connections there. Don't try to go yeah, you can try actually to go to countries like Philippines, Cambodia, Vietnam. I really don't know much about them, but I think they also, you just go like, f around, and then you're going to find out what is there. Okay. Singapore, they don't really allow foreigners there in Singapore, so don't even try that. And if you can survive 1 week in Singapore, then your father has to be like, or your sponsor is really like, you're doing well, because it's very expensive to live in Singapore. And yeah, the league only don't allow foreigners. You can also try countries like Myanmar, Brunei, all those places, just where you're going to get your feet in. And if you have actually played in Asia for a while, then you're going to be like a very big advantage to move within the Asian countries. You're going to make your name and everything. So try that. I hope the information that I gave out there kind of helped a little bit. And if you find it useful, yeah, don't forget to come, like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. Let's grow it. Of course, you're wondering, why am I shooting directly at goal? Of course, what I'm just trying to do is make sure that the ball is on target, really. Like, I realized that trying to make it very complicated to bin the ball is really like kind of wasteful. I would always hit it high or something, so I was like, let me first try to improve on the accuracy, and then we'll see. But yeah, it wasn't every ball that was going directly into like the middle of the goal. So that's that. But yeah, guys, that was the scenario, and be sure to comment down below. We can do a Q&A some other time, where you guys ask your questions and I come up with the answers, at least to the best of my abilities. But yeah, let's keep grinding. The work never stops. My situation right now with my current situation is a little bit complex, but I hope everything gets better very soon with time. I believe so, because if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't. But if it happens, okay, I really don't control much of the things. I think it's at the point that, okay, whatever happens probably could be a blessing, or it's meant to be that way, and it's going to lead to something else. But yeah, I'm still trying to wait my registration to get sorted, and then I should be able to play very soon. I have until the 30th, so if anything is done before that, then we're good. But if nothing happens before 30th, then we might be back to square one. But yeah, guys, that's this for the video. I hope you learned something, and if you did, please comment. And if there's something you want me to clarify on, I'll try to do voiceover on the next video, so that you get some information. My channel is just about teaching and sharing my experiences with you, and trying to help most of you that are in my situation. So it's been me, your boy Sunny, and cheers and love and good luck to all the guys that are trying to make it out there. Bye bye.